Slide 1 and 2. Hello, my name is Gerardo Seidel. I am Director of Development at DISE. Today we're going to talk about thermocontractile packaging barrier for different food applications. Before that, I will introduce the company. Slide 3. Since 1974, we develop and manufacture multi-layer films for different applications in the industry of food and packaging in general. Through our plant production and strategic partners, we add value to our customers, offering solutions that provide security and preservation to their products through bags, sheets, plastic casings, packing and industrial sanitation systems. Our objective is to provide the necessary support to our customers, working together to give more and better life to packaged products, and thus, to increase the profitability of their companies. To do so, we have a dedicated team of people, seeking to offer a distinctive service in the market. Slide 4. DISE is with several distribution centers and attention to customers. In the city of Cordoba, Argentina, we have our headquarters and production plant. In Buenos Aires we have sales office. In Uruguay, an agent distributor. In Brazil we are installed with Plásticos DISE do Brasil. In Mexico we have a company called DISE Grip Mexico, a joint venture with a major company named Grip Mexico film manufacturer. In Chile an agent distributor. Bolivia an agent distributor, Paraguay an agent distributor, in Colombia agent distributor, and a distributor agent for America Central. Slide 5. Plastics DISE primarily serves the market of packaging of cheese, refrigerators market of fresh meats, processed meats, and mainly supermarkets. Slide 6. Types of product according to barrier to oxygen. DISE produces two types of film. One type is a flexible medium barrier to the oxygen film, where the raw material that gives the barrier to the oxygen is the polyamide. A flexible high barrier to the oxygen film in a material called EVO. The other type of material produced by DISE is flexible thermocontractile film in three types: low barrier, barrier medium and high barrier. The low barrier has a structure ethyl vinyl acetate or EVA. The middle barrier is composed by polyamide. High barrier is composite of EVO. Slide 7. Thermocontractile bags is the topic of today. Here we can see all types of thermocontractile films produced by Plásticos DISE. And let's say that DISE produces a differentiated material called Thermo MB2, which has a medium barrier to the oxygen of between 50 and 70 cc. The Thermo MB3 product has a medium barrier to the oxygen of between 120 and 150 cc. DISE also produces a high barrier material called Thermo ABE with a barrier less than 3 cc. Another product is the DISE ABE for ham cooking, that has a barrier to the oxygen of least 3 cc. Slide 8. Let's talk about thermocontractile bags. DISE produces bags with EVOH or polyamide as barrier material according to their application. This is a product of high thermocontraction, similar to the leader products on the market that are Cryovac and Bemis. This product has polyamide and EVOH, has a differential mechanical resistance, greater than the traditional bag of back. Materials are sealed straight or curved. Different colors. They can be solid or printed bags. And they allow the use of automatic, semi-automatic and also manual systems. Slide 9. Now let's talk a little bit about the structure of thermocontractile products, produced with Plasticos DISE technology. Here we have, on the left, medium barrier materials MB2 and MB3 with a structure of 7 barrier layers in which we have one outer layer of AVA, a layer of polyethylene, following layer of adhesive coating, the central one of polyamide, one of adhesive again, a layer of polyethylene again, and an inner layer of sealing AVA. Now let's see high barrier products, thermo products AVA and DISE AVA are high barrier. AVA in the outer layer, adhesive, polyamide, EVO in central layer, adhesive, polyamide, AVA in the inner layer. All involved are approved plastic raw materials by FDA and are free of bisphenol A. In any layer can go some additive for color, etc. And those grades are also approved by FDA. Slide 10. DISE technology is a unique technology, which is not available in the market. It is not for sale. DISE has continually improved this technology to improve the quality of these products. Slide 11. The process of obtaining a thermocontractile tube consists of different stages. The first stage is the primary tube co-extrusion. Later will be the water cooling of the primary tube. Then the primary tube is heated, and after the primary tube warming is oriented in both directions, on the machine and the transverse direction. After that orientation the final product's measures are almost reached. Then the tube passes through a stabilization oven where ensures not to have problems in the transport in order to keep the dimensions. Subsequently, they enhance a cooling and a winding is made. Coils then pass to flexographic printing or directly to a machine to get the bag. Slide 12. DISE products are used for different applications. In this diagram we see the different applications. If we want to pack cheeses, we have two types of cheeses. One that release CO2 and other cheeses do not releasing CO2. We have a very large market of fresh cheeses that release CO2 in Argentina. In Brazil a Minas cheese that releases CO2. For this application we use a product of medium barrier to the oxygen of 120 cc. This application requires a good permeability to the CO2, and this product has a greater permeability to CO2. For other cheeses that are semi-hard or hard and not release CO2, we use two types of bags that are thermo MB2 and thermo AB. The MB2 is a product of average barrier of 50 to 70 cc of transmission rate of oxygen, or the other product of high barrier with a rate of barrier to the oxygen 3 dc. It's a decision of the customer about the life wanted for the packaged product. If we are talking about a product of high turnover or a half rotation of product, we can use a medium barrier. And if we need a greater useful life, we will have to use a high barrier product. Referring to meat and sausages, we two types of differentiated products. For cool products we use a medium or high barrier product, as in the case of cheeses without CO2. We have sausage products that are cooked products, cooked hams, palate of pork, cooked turkey, etc. or different applications requiring a pasteurizing or cooking. Here we can use DISE AB, which is high barrier with good meat adhesion. The other type of applications are the frozen products. Here we use medium barrier to the oxygen. It is a product that does not need medium barrier to the oxygen, but it is because it uses MB3, which is polyamide, since good mechanical properties are needed. Slide 13. Thermocontractile products. Here we have different applications with photo pictures. The MB3, a medium barrier to oxygen. Fresh cheese with high humidity cheese releases CO2, so CO2 permeability is required. If we use a 70 cc product CO2 barrier, the product will inflate, but that's not what the client wants. This product is also used for fresh meat, beef, pork or chicken, etc. The other product MB2 is medium barrier with 70 cc transmission rate. It is used for cheeses with formation of internal eyes that need the CO2 to be released. With MB2 we also have other type mozzarella cheese and cheese bar for portions of cheese. The ThermoAbe product, a high barrier for fresh meat, bovine, sausage pork, bacon, cold meat, a thermocontractile product. And finally, the last line of products of the slide is the DISE for cooked products, method of zero loss. In crystal and white colors. Slide 14. Benefits of thermocontractile bags packaging. Prolongation of the shelf life of the packed product. Rationalization of the containers and maturation process. Easy handling of the material. Hygiene of maturation, transportation and sales conditions. The product is always closed and the maturation is being done inside the bag. Capability of printing is an aspect of marketing and brand recognition. Packaging without increasing the weight or volume of the product. Excellent product presentation. Slide 15. Here we have the painted cheese by the traditional method. For many years the cheese were painted to stop the formation of fungus and stop the ripening of the cheese. The painting has an antifungal but does not completely stop the ripening of the cheese. Slide 16. Here we have two cheeses, one painted and the other with black thermocontractile. What are the differences between both products? The packaged product has practically the same final form, with a very good thermocontraction of the cover. But the plastic container has a great advantage, which is the detention of weight loss. The cheese loses moisture which is retained unchanged, so the weight of the final product with a thermocontractile barrier media container. Cheese manufacturer saves money by stopping the loss of moisture. Slide 17. Here we have another product packaged in MB3. It is a creamy cheese with high humidity. In Argentina there is a great volume of this type of cheese. Slide 18. Another example of cream cheese or fresh cheese. Slide 19. This is a semi-hard cheese, cheese table that is packed in a medium barrier of red color bag. This cheese is used for sandwich making and has much volume in Argentina and in the countries of Latin America in general. Slide 20. Another example of medium barrier, Argentine provolone and yellow cheese, and a rounded black color bag for grated cheese. Slide 21. Here we have an asodero cheese, which is a Mexican cheese. The bag on the left is Cryovac and on the right is DISE. The photo is from a supermarket in Mexico City. Slide 22. Now let's talk about the DISE's thermocontraction products. We see that there is a very good contraction at 90 to 95 degrees Celsius, between 40% and in the direction of machine and 45-50% in the transverse direction. Slide 23. And this is an example of what the market needs. The product of DISE is on the left and is a medium barrier. On the right, a competitor from Brazil. The bigger the percent of contraction, better presentation and appearance of the product. Slide 24. Available colors of DISE are glass or transparent, white, red, yellow, yellow translucent, orange, black and non-gloss black. DISE is willing to develop new colors and finishes if the volume warrants it. Slide 25. Shrink bags packaging machinery. Filling manual to the left of the photo, semi-automatic at the center and automatic right. The supplier of machines is Cryovac. Up to 60 packs/min. DISE provides loose bags for manual packaging and tape bags for the semi-automatic. Slide 26. Bags for the vacuum and sealing system of single or double hood, on the left. Slide 27. Machinery for thermocontractile bag packaging. On the left we see machines that operate with hot water, immersion tank, constant shrink, and finally, thermocontractile tunnel with continuous operation water carton. In the Argentina these three types of equipment are used. Slide 28. Contraction of cheeses. The recommended temperature for cheeses in cold cuts is between 92 and 96 degrees Celsius. If it is required of further contraction, we have to elevate the temperature of contraction. The original bag is shown in the picture on the left, and the contracted one. The dimension of the contracted is small, so it helps to fit to the product form. Slide 29. Recommended temperature for fresh meat is 80 degrees Celsius. If we diminish the temperature, maybe the product will not be well contracted. If you increase the temperature, the blood surrounding the meat could be cooked. So it is not to exceed 80 degrees. Slide 30. Sealing of thermocontractile bags. All materials have a wide range of seal, which ensures the quality of the packaging for both the sealed bag made by DISE and the customer's sealing during the packaging of the product. Slide 31. DISE Cookable is a product for cooking in mold with adherence to the meat protein. The bag can be cooked 4 hours at 80 degrees Celsius. Here we can see a turkey packed into a DISE bag, and to the left the same product into a Cryovac bag. Slide 32. Production process. It has 4 stages. Primary tube co-extrusion process, Bi-orientation process, flexographic printing, conversion of the bags. Slide 33. Conversion. DISE offers several alternatives for product conversion. It is important that client communicates its need. DISE Engineering Plastics area to analyze feasibility of the project. Slide 34. Different types of sealing, straight or curved bottom and sealed side seal. These are the most common sealing in Latin America. Finally, I want to thank you for listening this presentation, and we are available to evaluate any questions regarding products or applications.